Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday, everybody. It is Monday afternoon here where I live in California, and I'm excited to jump on to YouTube Live. Once again, this is becoming a habit. It's been a few weeks now where I've been doing this. And today I wanted to chat with you about why joining a speaking community is actually a faster way to making progress in your English confidence. It can save you time, not just hours, not just weeks, but it can save you years of time. And joining a speaking community also makes conversations in English that usually feel frustrating or even embarrassing, it can make them feel fun, even joyful. So I am excited to chat about all of this today. If you are joining, I would love to see. I see lots of people already joining to watch today. I'm glad that you're here. Drop a hello in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from. I always enjoy getting to see that. But let's talk a little bit about this. Why joining a speaking community is so effective in your English. And I know a lot of you right now, like many of my students, you might be thinking, Anne Marie, speaking communities sound great, but I'm super busy. I have a full-time job. I've got kids at home. I have things that I need to do. I can't do one more thing in English. I can't do one more thing with my time. And I totally get it. It makes sense because if you're doing all those things, full-time jobs, kids, all this stuff, if you're doing that, and if you are currently working to make progress in your English confidence and fluency, if right now you're doing things like thinking about what should I study today? What should I do? What do I need to figure out? I have a meeting in English tomorrow. How do I get ready for it? And then you go online and you search on Google or you ask ChatGPT and then you watch some YouTube videos or you listen to a podcast and you do all these things. Your day is full. So my question for you is, when you do all of those things in those situations, when you need your English to improve, and you spend that time thinking about it, searching on Google, looking online, watching YouTube, has that started to make progress in your English confidence and fluency? Do you feel like you're moving forward? Can you see your progress on that path? If not, that's where a speaking community becomes so effective. Not because you need to do both, not because you need to add extra time inside this community, but the idea of a community is that it replaces all of this time that you're already spending on your English. But the difference is a community gives you a clear path forward. Everything is planned for you. It's step by step. You know exactly what to practice and study. That pathway gives you the skills, the strategies, the things that you need so that you're ready for conversations in English. It gives you the practice you need to feel comfortable, to be clear, to be able to think faster and respond quickly in conversations. So a speaking community saves all that time because you don't have to figure it out. You don't have to spend time searching online, trying to find the right video, trying to find the right thing. It's all planned for you. All you do is show up, you learn, you practice, you speak, you get support, and you make progress. And I know for me in my own language learning, along with the hundreds of students that I have in my community, that saves time, not hours, not weeks, but years of frustration and effort. I'm going to stop just for a second because I'm seeing lots of comments over here. So I see some different people saying hello, Anastasia, Isabel. Lots of people saying hi. Thank you so much for joining. I'm glad that you're here. So let's talk a little bit more because, again, a lot of students who come to work with me, initially they thought, I just don't have time for this. It sounds too busy. But then they discover a speaking community actually requires less time because everything's planned, everything's organized for them. But on top of that, you may be thinking, Anne Marie, I already speak English every day. I speak at work. I live in an English-speaking country. So why do I need a speaking community? I already speak, but nothing's changing for me. I still feel nervous. I still feel shy. Well, there's a really specific reason for that. If you speak English at work right now, when you are at work, you're focused on your work, as you should be. You need to be focused on your responsibilities, your tasks when you're at your job. So if you're in a meeting in English, you're focused on the conversation. You're focused on solving the problem or taking the meeting to the next step. You're focused on doing your job. At that moment, you can't really focus on trying to find a new strategy to use in English, trying to remember that strategy, trying to think, is this the right time to use it? Should I try to practice it here? Will someone support me in it? That's not the time to practice new strategies in English. You just need to do your job. And everyday life in English, if you're living in an English speaking country, there are so many moments every day that are unexpected that we don't plan for. Things happen. And if you haven't had the opportunity to build your skills to respond to them, they feel overwhelming. They feel stressful. And when you're in that moment, that's where fear and anxiety, all those things happen because you weren't prepared for it. So, again, inside a speaking community, this is where you get focused practice on new skills that you need to handle real life conversations, whether it's at work or in your daily life. You get that plan, you get the practice, you get the support. And I'm kind of thinking about if you saw my live last week, I had this weird basketball story. I don't know why I always think of sports when I'm thinking about language. Last week, when I talked about basketball, I said it was because it's so visual, and it is. But I want you to think about this. Imagine you have a goal. I have a goal right now of running a half marathon. And that half marathon, it's scheduled in November. So I know it's on the calendar. Now, every day I walk, right? I walk to my grocery store. I take walks with my husband after dinner. I walk to my car. I walk around my house. Sometimes when I'm running late, I jog to my car. So, yes, I'm walking every day, but that's not training me to develop the skills, the physical stamina, the fitness I need to run a half marathon. I need to have dedicated time to practice running in a different way. I need time to build up my ability to run for longer distances. That requires focused time to do that. And the same is true in your English skills. When you're at work or when you're in your daily life, you're focused on doing that thing. But if your goal is to speak with more confidence, with more fluency in the moments that are important to you, having the opportunity to practice for those moments and get support along the way is what leads to that confidence and fluency. And again, it can happen more quickly when you have a clear plan, when you have a dedicated space to do that. Now, I know that in talking about a speaking community, I got a couple emails this week, and one of them I'm thinking a lot about. Someone told me that I love the idea of a speaking community, but I'm just too embarrassed in my English. I'm ashamed of my level. It's really basic. Except her email wasn't basic. Her email was actually quite advanced. But I get it. I've felt exactly the same way, feeling like I have so much information here. I know what I want to say, it's in my brain. But in the moment, I can't really use those words. And there's a lot of embarrassment, a lot of shame that can come from that. That's why speaking communities exist. They exist for you. If right now speaking in English feels like something that causes anxiety, stress, uncertainty, embarrassment, the purpose of a speaking community is to support you. It's to give you those moments where it is safe and calm to practice. You don't have to worry about judgment. Nobody cares about mistakes. You're free to practice. You're free to try new things. You get that support you need to succeed. And something that is really wonderful about a speaking community is it can change those conversations in English. The conversations that feel frustrating right now, that feel embarrassing right now, they can start to feel fun. They can feel joyful. You can actually start to have conversations in English and forget that you're speaking in English, which is totally the goal, right? The goal would be to have a conversation, to follow it, to understand what's going on, to jump in, to speak up, to say what you want in the moment and kind of forget that it's in English because it's all just happening naturally. That's the goal. And that's totally possible. I'm thinking about two women in my community right now, Marianne and Marcela, both of them. They've talked about how now, because of the community, they're able to experience joy in English, that speaking in English, being in conversations in English are joyful and fun. And I want you to think about that for a moment. Can you imagine describing conversations in English as joyful and fun? Not frustrating, not embarrassing. They're joyful. They're fun. You forget that you're speaking in English. That's what women in my Confident Women community experience. And not only that, something else I hear a lot is that being inside the Confident Women community starts to become me time. I don't know if you've watched an old lesson of mine. I have this old lesson on self-care, having conversations about self-care. Self-care are the things that we do to take care of our emotions, our mental health, our physical health. So I know for me, at the end of every day, I get off of my computer, off of my phone, and I read books. I love reading books. That's my self-care time. It's my me time. It's what I do to relax, to reduce stress, all of those things. I also take walks and go running. These are self-care things. And we often use the expression in English, me time, time for me, time to focus on my mental health, my emotional health, my physical health, etc. So women inside our community, being in the community is their me time. It's the time that they take care of themselves because it's a place that becomes fun. It's a place where they have friends, they enjoy conversations, they feel welcomed, they feel like they belong, they have a place to go. And I want you to think about that for a moment. Can you imagine enjoying English so much, having so much fun in conversations that you choose English as your me time? It's your downtime. It's the time where you feel refreshed and energized and excited. It's incredible. And inside our community, most of our members have been there for more than 2 years because they started to enjoy English, because it started to be fun for them, because they saw themselves succeeding and making progress. They've made so much progress that it's become their me time, and they continue to make progress in that way. So with that in mind, again, I want you to think about the power of a speaking community and how much time and frustration it can save you, how much anxiety it can remove, how much uncertainty and stress it can remove. And instead, it can be a quick, efficient way to make progress in your confidence and fluency. It can build up the skills you need for the conversations that you have every day. And it can actually become super fun. It can be what you love to do. So if you've dreamed of that, if you've dreamed of just being fluent and being free in English, it's entirely possible. There are so many ways to make that possible. So I want to, before I jump off today, I want to just jump over to the chat. I'm seeing lots of chats here from France and Spain. Hello, everybody. Someone who started learning English with my channel. Thank you. Hello in Brazil as well. Hello in Algeria. So thank you all, someone in the UK as well. I'm super thrilled to have you here. Thank you for joining me for this. I hope that you will think really carefully about what your goals are right now in English. What is it that you want to accomplish and what is really going to help you get there? So with that, thank you so much for joining me. I will definitely see you in a future YouTube Live. And I've also got a fun lesson coming up on Wednesday that I'm excited to tell you about. So I'll see you all very soon. Thank you so much for joining me on Monday for this live session.